Jack Jones was a game changer on the field and a healer off it. In just 3 NFL seasons, the cornerback totaled 7 interceptions, 27 interceptions, and 4 defensive touchdowns. Those are elite numbers, yet somehow he's now a free agent for the 3rd time in 4 years. After stints with the Patriots and Raiders, he was released each time, despite his undeniable talent. So why is a player with such production still unsigned? The answer lies in his confidence. Jones has a history of struggles and inconsistencies off the field. He was dismissed from USC during college due to academic difficulties and legal issues, and later rebuilt his career at Arizona State. In New England, he was dismissed during his sophomore season for violating time rules, including breaking the curfew, and faced a firearms charge that was later dropped. The Raiders released him this offseason after he triggered a pay raise that took his salary to more than $3 million and failed to align with the team's new culture and leadership standards. Now enter Buffalo, a team that has never been afraid to take risks based on whether the potential is high or sufficient. They've done it with veterans before, and Jones could be next in line. What makes this combination even more intriguing is that Buffalo's new cornerbacks coach, Mike Pellegrino, was Jones' position coach in New England. That kind of familiarity could be just what Jones needs to find his groove again. The Bills' current cornerback group is competitive, but far from stable. Maxwell Hairston's Heat brings exciting potential, but remains unproven. Dane Jackson and Trey Davius White are experienced, but have struggled with injuries and inconsistency. Jack Jones, on a low-risk additional veteran contract with performance incentives, could give the Bills the depth and explosiveness they need, especially for a team with legitimate Super Bowl aspirations. But the Bills aren't the only ones eyeing Jones. Teams like the Commanders, Dolphins, Vikings, and Packers all have coaching ties to Jones or major cornerback needs. Still, strong locker room leadership and familiarity with Buffalo's coaching staff could give them an edge if they decide to sign him. If the Bills want to avoid having their secondary become a liability late in the season, the time to act is now. And if Jones can stay focused and replicate the impact he had last year, including an interception for an interception and 16 interceptions, Buffalo could uncover a hidden gem. But while the Bills are sharing the benefits of adding a bold cornerback to their roster, an even more impactful move just shook up the entire AFC, and it could be just what Buffalo needs to pave the way for the Super Bowl. Here's how this Dolphins move could change everything. In a shocking move that shook up the AFC landscape, the Miami Dolphins have officially traded 3-time All-Pro cornerback Jalen Ramsey to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And while this headline may seem unrelated to the Buffalo Bills at first glance, the ripple effects will be monumental for their 2025 Super Bowl campaign. Let's start with what this means for the division. With Ramsey gone, the Dolphins have lost their most dominant defensive piece, a player capable of completely shutting down one side of the field. That's a huge blow to an already vulnerable Miami. Now, when the Bills face their division rivals this season, Josh Allen and Buffalo's receiving core, Keon Coleman, Joshua Palmer, Dalton Kincaid, will have a distinct advantage. Without Ramsey, there's no elite cornerback standing in their way. Better yet for Buffalo, both of its matchups against the Dolphins came before its Week 13 matchup against Pittsburgh, giving Allen and his wideouts more time to build chemistry and gain momentum without the threat of Ramsey's coverage. That could be crucial when the Bills face the Steelers in what could be a preseason playoff game. But what about Pittsburgh? Why should the Bills care about Ramsey's arrival there? Because the Steelers are quietly building a contender, and fast. This offseason, they've already acquired Super Bowl winning quarterback Aaron Rodgers, traded for 2-time Pro Bowl wideout DK Metcalf, and now they've brought in Ramsey to anchor the secondary. They're not just trying to compete, they're betting everything on a title run, and that makes the Bills' potential path to the playoffs that much more complicated. The good news? Ramsey has never been a Bills killer. Despite all his accolades, he's won 7 against Buffalo, with his only win coming in the 2017 AFC wildcard game with the Jaguars. Since then, Josh Allen and the Bills have dominated that matchup. Even so, Ramsey is still a dangerous piece, and in the playoffs, an elite game can be a game changer. One key thing to watch is Allen's ability to maintain his composure against elite defenses. With Ramsey now in black and gold, Week 13 becomes a high-stakes mental battle for Allen, who will need to rely more on timing, anticipation, and perhaps some surprise weapons, because if there's one thing Ramsey does well, it's baiting quarterbacks into making mistakes. Still, from Buffalo's perspective, this trade could be a perfect storm. The Dolphins, their biggest division rivals, just got weaker. The cornerback core, with unproven names like Cam Smith, Jason Marshall, and UDFA prospects, looks fragile without Ramsey. And if they stumble, the AFC East will be Buffalo's to win. In the meantime, Buffalo's early matchups with Miami offer a golden opportunity for Allen to build momentum ahead of December, when playoff seeding becomes crucial. The window to clinch the division just got wider, and the path to the top seed just got a little more realistic. But it's not just about opponents. The Bills still face challenges within their own roster, from contract conflicts to training camp disputes. And one story in particular could go viral when the time comes for St. Louis. But even with the departure of a division giant easing the way, the Bills' biggest challenges may still lie at home. With training camp approaching, internal struggles and position battles threaten to derail. And one star on the team could be preparing a surprising move. As the Buffalo Bills prepare for training camp on July 23rd at St. John Fisher University, the countdown is on, and the pressure is on. While fans are eager to see how this Super Bowl caliber roster comes together, there are still unresolved issues that could define the season before the first snap. The most glaring question? The battle at CB2. Christian Benford is expected to return as a blocking presence on one side of the field, but who will line up opposite him remains an open question. Rookie Maxwell Hairston is the intriguing new face, a first-round pick with a wealth of raw talent. But the newcomers have recently excelled in Sean McDermott's complex defensive schemes. That opens the door for veterans like Tre'Davious White, who is trying to recover from injuries, and Dane Jackson, who has struggled to find consistency. If neither veteran returns to form, or if Hairston proves too inexperienced, the Bills could be forced to return to the free agent market. That's why names like Jack Jones have been making the rounds at One Bills Drive. Buffalo can't afford uncertainty at one of the most critical positions in a conference filled with elite quarterbacks. But as if that weren't enough of a storm, there's another one brewing, and it has the potential to shake up the entire offense. We're talking about James Cook. The loudmouth running back has entered the final year of his hot contract and has made it clear he wants to be paid like one of the best running backs in the league. And can you blame him? He's coming off back-to-back 1,000-plus yard seasons and has become one of the NFL's most versatile weapons in the backfield. But so far, negotiations have failed to produce an extension, and time is running out. According to team sources, there's growing concern that Cook could show up for training camp but opt to sit out practices until a new deal is in place. While that's not a total holdout, it would still cause a media frenzy and jeopardize training camp preparations. The front office finds itself in a tough spot. Sign Cook now and risk cap constraints in the future, or play hardball and risk losing one of the most important offensive weapons of the season at a crucial time. It's a delicate balancing act. Cook knows his value. The Bills know how much they need him. The question is, who will give in first? And while those stories dominate the headlines, one rookie is quietly turning heads and could become a breakout star. Enter Landon Jackson, a third-round draft pick out of Arkansas. The towering $2.01 million defensive end is already earning rave reviews from the coaching staff. Defensive coordinator Bobby Babich has praised his athleticism, effort, and football IQ, indicating that Jackson could contribute on all three downs right away. That's rare praise for a rookie edge rusher, especially in a system that demands discipline and physicality. But Jackson's combination of size, speed, and motor has made him one of the most talked-about players at minicamp. If he carries that momentum into training camp, he could become a key part of the Bills' pass rush rotation. In a year where every game matters, especially in the playoffs, Buffalo needs young players like Jackson to step up early, just as much as they need contract stability and a solid depth chart. Training camp is just around the corner, but make no mistake, the stakes are already high. So, fans, do you think the Bills should take a risk and sign Jack Jones? Does Jalen Ramsey's departure from the Dolphins really pave Buffalo's path to the Super Bowl? I'll be back later to update you with the latest Buffalo Bills news.